brought to you by Bethel School of Technology. Learn more at betheltech.net/Ken Coleman.
Hey, Ken. Thanks for sharing your wisdom with me. I've been in full-time ministry since I was 19 for 30 years now. 7 years ago, I planted a church here. I loved recruiting, launching, vision casting, all the short-term projects and problem solving in the first few years. In the later years, I moved toward maintaining, and it was no longer a good fit for my gifts. I stepped away from the role, and I've been looking for a new role. I'd love to stay in ministry, but as we're caring for aging parents here in town, we can't leave Knoxville, which quickly limits my ministry role possibilities. So several months ago, I began a search to look into the marketplace roles as well. But I'm just trying to figure out what might be a good fit for me with my gifts and experience. I took your Get Clear assessment. We'd love to get your advice on what roles in the marketplace you might think are best match for my assessment result.
Yeah, I'd love to hear those. So let's go with the top 3 talents.
Yeah, so communication, imagination, and execution.
Hold on. I can't write that fast, and I got to be able to look at this. Communication, imagination, and execution.
Yep.
Okay.
And then my passions are performing and leading and promoting. And then my mission is achievement.
Well, that explains why you're a starter. A planter is a starter. Communication, imagination, and execution. Well, the communication and imagination to me line up with people work and ideas work. The execution is a process thing. The performing, leading, and promoting, that's all people and ideas. And then the achievement is the same. I mean, it's, I'm trying to get X amount of people to show up to church, right? We're growing. These things are happening, baptisms, blah, 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 blah. It's a numbers game, and you're a scoreboard guy.
Yeah.
So what's jumping out to me is people and idea work. The execution is just, you are a get it done guy. That's the good news. You lay out a plan, or you lay out the steps, and then you cross the T's and dot the I's with ease. Yeah.
For short-term accomplishments, if they pass a year or two, they become maintaining to me, and
that's right.
Don't hold my attention.
That's exactly right. What have you been looking for? Anything, or are you just still in the stuck ideation phase?
Project management, because it's so accomplish-oriented. And then sales, because it's, people and vision casting. Those are the two that seem like an easier move in. I mean, I would love something like motivational speaking or consulting, but those are a little more difficult to get into right in the start with not a lot of experience. Yeah,
I like sales and I like project management. I think the project management piece, that's going to have a lot of variety to it. And so if you're starting a new project all the time, so if it's in that kind of environment where that will keep your attention, the communication and the imagination thing, I think could really help you as a project manager, because you're the hub, if you will, or the spoke of a wheel when you're a project manager, touching a lot of different departments at times, certainly communicating with a lot of different people. So you look at the performing piece, that's all about pressure. I need to be in a pressure role. The leading is about influencing. The promoting, is, hey, this is what we ought to do. This is a great idea. This is the way to live, right? That's kind of you. And as long as you've got a scoreboard and a heavy measurement-focused job, then you're going to be really fulfilled. So that's the short version without any specifics. I think sales could be really great. I really do, for you, because you've got turnover of new clients all the time, new opportunities to sell. It's got all of the achievement pieces screaming at me on this. And I think you could go, a guy like you who gets into sales, the right company, and you start crushing it, move up the ladder, then you move into a leadership role. And I think you're built for that too, leading people. Yeah. So I would say that if you don't feel like a pastor qualifies for management positions, I'd be looking at management positions too, at companies locally. Because you can say, look, I've led people and I've got a lot of experience leading people. But if not, getting into sales or some type of project management role would give you a path to leadership, because I feel like you're going to need something like that in your life. Because starting a church plant is leading a vision. And then once it gets to a certain point, you're going, I need a new hill. I need something new to do.
Right.
And so you need to find work that's going to have a pretty good rotation of newness coming at you all the time.
Yeah, and I like that with sales. It's new people all the time.
All the time. Yep. And you're a guy that I could see getting promoted into leadership pretty quickly, given your pastoral instincts and your past leadership ability. So, in same deal, as long as you've got some level of, maybe you're still selling on some level, but also leading, and you got new people coming in all the time, you're hiring new people, you're trying to put a team together, you're going to have natural turnover. That creates a new puzzle for you every time.
Yeah. I was looking at a management training program in sales. Seems like, you start with sales, you move towards management.
I like that for you.
Yeah.
Because the idea of once a church gets to a certain level, once a church gets established, it's now pretty much a routine, right?
Yeah.
We have our service times, we got our rhythms, we got all the stuff the church is doing in the community. And so by the nature of it, it's, other than a new message every week, that's about it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think you're wired for that. I think you're wired for, it's not, sometimes we generalize this and we call somebody like you, well, you're a starter, not a finisher. And I don't know that that's completely fair either, because you've got the talent of execution. You get stuff done. You finish stuff. I think for you, it is, it's the pace. I think it's the pace and the variety that you need.
Right.
Does that sound right? I'm trying to get inside your head on that.
Yeah. I mean, when I was a pastor, COVID was actually really interesting for me because it was a new problem to solve every day. And it just kept my attention.
All right.
It was just,
you just nailed it.
Yeah.
You just said in one sentence what I've been trying to say for a couple minutes as I'm hemming and hawing over here. You need a new problem to solve every day.
Right.
Now, here's you got to be careful on that. I think that's fundamentally true. So philosophically, I could say from a high level, that's true. Be careful that you don't try to get in that rhythm, because that could actually burn you out. So I don't think it's a daily thing, but I do think it is a rhythm of, I need new problems to solve on a regular basis. Doesn't have to be every day. Do you understand? I'm kind of being overly sensitive to that, because you got to be careful you don't get sucked into that where it's like you don't get anything done. You're just looking at the next thing and I try to become Superman, and then I flame out.
Right.
That's the only thing.
It seems like entrepreneurship is in that
very much
as well.
Very much.
Yeah.
But starting a business is similar to starting a church.
Right.
So if you're going to start a business, you better have a plan, at least an idea in place that once you get it to a certain level, now I've hired a right-hand person and they're running the day-to-day. They're maintaining.
Right. Yep.
They're maintaining the business. And I'm focusing on the big problems. They're running the day-to-day, right. And then something crazy happens. We got some problem with a distributor, or one of our vendors is flaking out. It could affect our business. You're like, boom, let me at it. I'm in there. I'll go in there. I'll dig in. I'll fix that problem, solve it, and get out of the way, and you keep running the business. So that's a very good option for you, is starting a business. But be very smart about it. Start small and grow slow.
Yep.
Have a plan in place for somebody that accentuates you. And then I think you'll do fine in that role. I really do. So thanks for the call. Really interesting stuff. Love that call. It's a great example, by the way, of someone who could go a lot of different directions once he's clear on what he does best. Launch your tech career today at betheltech.net/Ken Coleman.